Now we're back for another My Team episode, and this one is the Monaco Grand Prix. A very, very exciting one and a track that I love, and also a lot on my shoulders because I want to make sure we do a better job than last season. Now, before we jump into that, let's talk about the previous episode. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Link up in the top right. Potential spoilers ahead, so go check it out. But practice came to an end here in Monaco, and we finished about 4/10 behind Paul Chair on the medium tyre. For qualifying, we're going to boost the AI up to 100, I believe, as we've done practice on 98. It seems like we are able to run the AI a bit higher since the latest patch, and also I'm running a pretty decent setup, which is a big difference making compared to last year's race here, which I wasn't really ready for, and I was only using a preset setup, which made me really slow. So as you can see, we're moving the AI up to 100 for qualifying. And before we do that, we're going to quickly run through the weekend updates. So the weather forecast is going to be dry. Also, to go with that, we have upgrades. Now, this weekend, nothing has changed. We've got big upgrades planned for Baku. However, not many teams have brought upgrades besides Williams and McLaren. So we're not actually losing out, and we're still on the tail end of that midfield. And our chase right now is to try and catch Aston Martin. And to try and catch them, we've got upgrades on the way, like I said, for Baku. And we've got a major on the aero and a minor on the chassis. If they arrive and don't fail, we should overtake Aston. So yeah, with that said, we can move into qualifying, which for me is the best session of the weekend because, you know, the races aren't always particularly entertaining around here, and it's all about qualifying, driving on the limit and leaving nothing to chance and giving it your all. So here we are joining the action in Q1. Look at the try and continue our good run of form. You know, after the last race in Spain, we got Q2, and we got very close in Miami the race before that as well. We're putting together a bit of a run and also scoring points in the last two races as well. We're looking to try and keep that going. At the end of our first time lap here in qualifying, we set a 1 minute 10.4, and we move into the top four straight away with a 1 minute 10.5. Eventually though, we got pushed down to P14 and reality kind of set upon itself as the real lap times started to show. Sebastian Vettel, Carlos Sainz out of position there, you can see lower down. Either way, we've got about a 10th in our pocket, and I do believe there's more time to find. So we're going to go for one more lap and try to get ourselves into Q2 for the second time in a row here, this time at Monaco. So starting the lap through the Raskas and now into the final corner, Anthony Nogues. Starting the lap, DRS wide open into Sandevot, turn 1. No heroics, keeping it nice and simple there, very clean, and getting a nice exit up the hill as we now go towards Massenet, turn number 4. Pick up a late apex here to open up the right-hander of Casino, get as close as you like to the barriers as we have a massive moment on exit there, just getting a load of oversteer and losing about a 10th and a half, which was really annoying, maybe even 2/10, as we were up by nearly a 10th and we ended up being a 10th down in the sector 1 split. We've managed to recover that time though through the Lowe's hairpin and Portier as we make our way through the tunnel, giving it everything as we approach the Nouvelle chicane, braking at the 100, down to 3rd, flick it left, flick it right, over the curbs, short shift to get the drive and the traction, and now throw it into to back, carrying loads of speed, now into the swimming pool section, trying to get as close as possible. We actually brushed the wall through there as we now go into Raskas, down to 2nd, just about getting the apex, getting a nice exit there, squaring up the corner nicely, and then the final corner opening DRS, and a bit of a shake at the head as we cross the line. We improved to P11, 1 minute 10.3. Is that enough for Q2? No, it isn't, and we're out in P18, which was a bit disappointing. However, look at the grid and how close everybody is. The entire 22 cars, top to bottom, covered by less than a second. It's absolutely mental. The gap from P1 to P15 is half a second, so the grid is extremely competitive, and we do have some grid penalties for Albon, Ocon, and also Nicholas Latifi, so we may gain a few places in terms of our starting slot for the race. Either way, not the qualifying I hoped for. I do believe we could have got Q2 without that mistake out the exit of Casino. That cost me at least a 10th alone, probably more like a 10th and a half or 2/10. For the race, we're going to move up to 104. I think that should be fine. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, but you know, we should be okay. The highest we've run in a long time. And yeah, qualifying done. We're now going to move into the race here at Monaco.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That's how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. We're on the French Riviera once more this weekend at the 2-mile-long Circuit de Monaco. The cars will climb around 40 metres up the hill, past the casino, and then descend towards the harbour through Sector 2. It's a very short run from pole position to the first of 19 corners, and don't expect to see much overtaking here today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Sainz, Daniel Ricciardo, and Joe, Fernando Alonso, Mick Schumacher, Verstappen and Sergio Perez, Russell, Gasly, Sebastian Vettel and Aitken, Stroll, Albon. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Martinez and Esteban Ocon, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Théo Pourchaire and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today.
So it's time for the legendary Monaco Grand Prix. We start from P17. Qualifying didn't go according to plan, ideally. However, I do still believe we've got a great race car and the pace is there. I didn't quite put my lap together in Q1, but I do think we were fast enough for Q2. And I think I want to try and show that pace in the race here today. So, strategy for this one is going to be starting on the medium. I don't think we're going to go for the hard tyre. I'm going to try and stretch it to a soft. It depends on how my tyre attempts go for the race. If I can get a soft tyre on, that's what I'm going to try and aim for. Either way, we're just starting on the medium for now, and then we'll see what happens. Because worst way is we get wing damage, and we can take a set of hards to the end of the race if we're lucky. So, that's the best option for now. Fuel-wise, I was debating going under, and I might still go for it. Last season, fuel saving was fine. We went negative, and we easily saved the fuel. And we're starting quite low down, so I know you guys don't really like it, but it does make the car go faster. And it's a bit of a gamble, but it's sometimes worth taking in a situation. So I'm going to go a lap under. I can save if I have to. I mean, I've managed to save nearly 6 laps of fuel before around here, so that was on last year's game. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. I'm actually going to go 1.5 screw. I'm going to gamble. I want to get points again. I think we can make it 3 in a row, so I'm going to take a chance. Either way, let's get into the formation lap. Leave a like if you're going to enjoy. Predictions down in the comments down below. Can I get a point? Let me know, and then edit the comment once the video is over, and let me know if you're right. But let's get into the formation lap. This formation lap is so damn slow. I'm trying to get some tyre temp, and I'm only just about managing to get some now. Luckily, they just start to spread out a bit in this final sector, but even then I've only just got my fronts above 80, the front right especially. Now we're just starting to get some temp as we get ready for this race. This is going to be the most important race start of the season. If we can gain 1 or 2 places, that would be perfect. But anyway, let's get one last burnout going. We're starting on the right side. We're going to line her up really aggressively here to try and see if we can get a nice straight start. Oh no, we've overshot it. Damn it. Carried a bit too much speed. We're still lined up okay, which is good, but we're further back than I'd like. Anyway, I'm looking forward to this. I love Monaco. It's always a challenge, and we can overtake here if we need to. Lights on. Not a bad start. A little bit of a spin, but that's okay. Decent enough getaway as we send it out the inside into turn 1. We're going to get both Alphas and Lance Stroll side by side now, though, with Jack Aitken as we go up the hill into Massenet. Going to use the outside line here to try and carry that speed. Oh, it's all very tight, very close. Up the inside of Casino we go. I was tempted to go up the inside of Gasly there, but he kind of hesitated. Yellow flag as we go side by side into the Lowe's hairpin. Going to try and go around the outside of Pierre, maybe. Nope, never mind. Yellow flag, I think it's behind us. Into the tunnel for the first time. And we're up to P14, so that is an excellent start. That triple dive bomb into turn 1.
Okay, here's some information on Latifi. Okay, it looks like the problem's terminal. They're retiring the car.
So Latifi out, although it seems like no safety car. The car has already been cleared, so no issues as we continue on our way. Seems like a legit retirement actually from Latifi rather than contact. It seems like he's had an engine blow up on lap 1, which you never really see. Anyway, lap 1 in the books, and we're P14. This is good. We're not a million miles away from the points. It gives us strategy options. Undercut and overcut will be key, as Paul Chair has to pit for damage.
Okay, Teo's in the pits. Teo in the pits.
I think the overcut is going to be the option I'm looking at in this race. Depends how I am on my tyres, but let's see. Let's take it on a lap by lap basis. Okay, pace does look pretty good at the minute. We're dropping Aiken slowly, and we're starting to put some pressure on Pierre Gasly. I'm using higher gears than I normally would in the race just to keep the car a bit more stable and also save a bit of fuel, as we don't need to push like crazy right now in traffic. But the car's working well. I'm giving it a couple laps just to analyse and see how the balance is. Seems like we're okay on tyre wear as well, and also tyre temps. So we can start to have a look here. We're closing in on Pierre, even on 104. Our car is pretty decent now, I think, and we're starting to really turn a corner. You can see tyre wear on the rears, not too bad.
Okay, start actively conserving fuel, please, or we won't be finishing today. You need to be lifting off the throttle as you approach a corner. Let the drag slow you down a bit before you start active braking.
Yeah, cheers, Elvis. Anyway, like I was saying, we're saving fuel. Not a lot, but I can always save more if I have to. I'm just trying to see where the pace is, and it seems like we do have decent pace, so that's the key thing this race. I've dropped out the RS range of Gasly, as we've got a bit of field spread. I've also managed to drop Aiken, so the pack is kind of spreading out a bit in this race. Still, though, mostly together. I'm not too concerned. I mean, the pace is still strong. I think we'll probably get back within the RS range soon. Just got to keep it up. I'm trying not to burn up all my battery. Fuel saving is a bit more harder than I thought. Not as easy as last season. I don't know why it's so inconsistent. I really don't. I've done nothing different to last year, but for some reason it's a bit harder this year. Very good lap from us as we get back within DRS range of Pierre Gasly. Starting to drop Aiken now. That used up pretty much all my battery reserves though, as we try to get back within a second. Just want to stay as close as I can before the pit window, as that's when things are going to start to happen, and it's important that we're within range, you know.
Teo's coming in for his stop now.
Not really sure why Teo's done that. Must be because he went for the soft tyre. Either way, he's about to go a lap down after his second stop of the race in 12 laps. That's pretty insane. We are approaching the pit window. That's going to be the key phase. I think the overcut is going to be the option. Track position is key, so if I can have a strong in lap whilst everybody else pits and they rejoin on cold tyres, if I can just gain enough to overcut and then hopefully survive the long straight out of the pit exit, then we can get track position over some of these guys. So I'm going to kind of prioritise that. I'm still trying to save fuel. Battery's going to be just running on the reserves for the rest of the race pretty much. I need to use it at all times. Trying to fuel save, do a little bit lift and coast here and there. And we're kind of yo-yoing, you know, up and down, back and forth.
We're going to box this lap, push hard on the in-lap.
Right, this is it. Crucial phase then. Let's see what happens on the strategy front. Poor chair's not a factor, so we can focus on our own race and pit when we deem it to be the right time and necessary. Well, let's see who pits. Crucial phase here. I've managed to stay within Gasly's DRS, and Gasly does pit. Stroll stays out. Not a really busy pit lane, to be fair. Up to P10. I might do another lap after this, to be fair. Leclerc ahead on cold hard tyres.
Rain is forecast in just over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes.
Hold the phone. What? Okay. That's very interesting. I'm not going to panic. It might get delayed. It wasn't in the weather forecast, but that's come out of absolutely nowhere. Right, Sebastian Vettel pits. All the remaining medium type runners are going to pit now. So we'll get a better picture of how the race is going. This will now be my in lap. Let's see if we get a rain update on this lap. Okay, let's box this lap. Norris in the pit lane as well. Trying to nail the pit entry here. Perfect. Right. Let's see how this goes. We're going to go for the hard tyre. And it should be okay. We should have a slight edge in terms of tyre wear. This would be a great time for a perfect stop here from the pit crew. Only green timing on that. Come on, boys. It can still be a good stop. Alright, slow. Damn it. Worst case scenario. Here comes Seb and Gasly.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
I think we could have actually got the jump on both of them had that not gone wrong. That is really annoying. Back out in P14, but we could have been ahead of both of those guys on track. Oh, that's frustrating. The one track where you don't want a pit stop error. Trying to stay ahead here on the cold tyres as Aitken gets a bit out of shape. Kind of wishing for that rain now. That's going to be what I'm praying for. Pace is very good on the fresh tyres. We're dropping Aitken and catching up to Vettel and Gasly. 12-0. Let's keep it up. Okay, we've got to make a decision now. And that decision is fuel saving. If we want to get to the end, we need to start saving up. I'm already saving quite heavily, but we need more. So we're going to start taking away off the pace a little bit. And now I'm suddenly depending on that rain arriving. To be fair, that might be a great get out of jail free card at this point.
Okay, expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now. Okay, dry seem like the best tyre for now.
Not really the update I wanted to hear. However, normally when you hear that, the next one is rain in 5 minutes. 9 times out of 10. So we'll see if that's true or not. We might get a sprinkle. The clouds are starting to form. It is getting a bit dark. I think we might actually get rain. Very interesting. This might be our last chance to pull something back and also save fuel. It might help speed up the process as we'll have to sell another pit stop and also usually save fuel in the rain anyway, so let's see.
Watch the conditions. We think there's rain coming pretty soon. Be careful. Okay, dry seem like the best tyre for now.
Okay, it's going to start raining any moment, surely. If that's the message. Could be from any moment now. Where is this rain? I don't understand. Invisible rain? I'm waiting for something to happen. It's getting a bit late now. It has to start falling. Not a lot of grip through there, but I can't see any rain. But the lap times are dropping. Okay, now it's raining. I can see some droplets. Here we go.
Okay, we've got 4 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, dry seem like the best tyre for now.
That's not the update I'm looking for. I want to know how long the rain's going to last. Whether I know it's serious rain or just Mickey Mouse rain.
10 minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
I think it's Mickey Mouse rain. I don't think it's proper rain. 10 minutes, that's usually not enough. Lap times are horrible though. Track is getting really greasy. Seems like it's only just my car though. I'm losing time. I just have no grip. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to gamble on them. Screw it. Why not? My radio's broken. Great. Great. Fantastic. Radio's just bugged out. I'm going to box for inters. And see what happens. Inters are selected. If I get screwed here, you know why.
Okay, you're doing well out there. Keep it up. We're looking at about 10 more minutes of rain. 10 minutes. Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
There we go. Now it's working. Let's just go for it and see what happens, man. It's probably not going to work, but I'm not going to get any points anyway, so... Pretty nice quick stop here. Let's go. Away we go. Intermediates then. Let's just see if it works. Last minute gamble.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
Right, back underway. Tyres are nicely up to temp, usually, so we don't have to warm them up. There we go. Got a yellow ahead. Magnussen slowing down.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
Too late for a safety car. Bit of a shame, really. But K-Mag slowing. Engine blowout for the Williams. You can see the gap now starting to really come down. The track is getting wet. However, I think I've got damage. I think I bashed the wall on the pit exit because I've got no grip through the left-handers. I've got so much understeer. But you can see the track now visually getting wet. If there was like another 3 laps, I think this would actually be a decent little strategy if I had a full front wing, but I'm struggling with understeer through the left-handers, but I can fully send it in the right-handers. But the track is inters now, completely. Those hard tyres should start to go cold, so potentially some AI mistakes. The track is fully inters now, pretty much. Spray kicking up as we rapidly close in on Sonoda. Just a shame I got damage. But here we go. We'll probably get Sonoda before the race ends. You can see him struggling for grip. One more lap and it would have really made a big difference in terms of the intermediate performance, especially if I had a full front wing. There we go. Getting past Sonoda. DRS now disabled. Just one lap too late. Could have done with this one more lap of the race.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home. Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on track was: speed. I know it sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
So job done then in Monaco, and this one's going to sting a little bit because we're still struggling to find performance around here outright. I think next season with a much improved car will be our year and we can have a chance at the Principality. Nonetheless, Charles Leclerc picks up the win in his home Grand Prix, finally ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who reaches second place with a fastest lap. Lando Norris on the podium again in P3, highlighting McLaren's improvement. Then we have Sainz, Ricciardo, Zhou Guanyu, Fernando Alonso, Max Verstappen only P8 ahead of Schumacher, and Perez only P10. Russell misses out on the points ahead of Sebastian Vettel, Pierre Gasly, Jack Aitken, Lance Stroll, Esteban Ocon, Alexander Albon, ourselves down in P18, and then Tsunoda, Poulcher, Magnussen and Latifi. There's a lot. This race I think could have been P12 at best had we not had a botched pit stop. I would have been okay to save fuel. I would have made it, so I could have held on to P12 easily. And I didn't really have the pace to catch the Haas of Russell or the Red Bull, so that would have been the best we could have done. So it was worth a gamble going for the intermediates, just trying to do something different. The team let us down with the pit stop. So yeah, standings after that race, we moved down to P12. Sainz and Zhou overtake us and pull ahead. Schumacher still behind, 4 points adrift, and then Gasly down in P14. In the constructors, we're still 7th, and we still have a 9-point cushion over AlphaTauri and our 13-point cushion over Alfa Romeo. So it doesn't affect anything in the constructors behind us. Has gained a couple of points, but that's about it. I think our target is P7, and that's about that. So let's go to upgrades and let's keep improving the car. Now we've got a 10-day turnaround until the next race in Baku, which is quite a lot, and we have 2 upgrades arriving in that time, which is great. The only 2 that we have working on right now are both going to arrive. So first of all, let's get the activities out the way. We'll do some second driver PR filming. We'll also do some power equipment upgrade and aero team building. That side, upgrades, as you can see, we have a major and a minor on the way, and we're going to add to that as we have pretty much 1,400 points. So on the aero, we can't really afford anything. Everything's a bit out of price right now. Chassis, same scenario, same story really. Things are a bit pricey for us. What about the engine? Do I go for an engine upgrade? I think I might, I might go for the crankshaft for engine power. It's only a minor, it's not super expensive. 20-day turnaround. That should be on for the race after Baku. So I think we're going to leave it there and then save the rest of the points in case we have any failures. So let's get into the time sim and hopefully everything arrives. Lovely stuff. Upgrades on the car. Aero, rear wing and main plane. Chassis, cockpit weight redistribution or reduction in this case. So the car is going to be vastly improved moving forward. We're going to save up the rest of the points that we have. What we are going to do is spend some money, and we're going to go ahead and work on, I think, personnel, as this now works. So we'll go for the sim to improve the pace of pull chair. Do I go for... I'm going to do all one of each. Why not? We've got the money, may as well burn it. So there we go, we'll do one of each. And that should cover it. And that will improve pull chair's pace quite a bit. So job done, happy days. We'll go to Baku next and we'll see how that goes. But guys, if you enjoyed Monaco, leave a like and subscribe. It wasn't a classic, but I tried my best. I tried to gamble at the end. Didn't quite work out. As always, a massive plug and shout out to the members for supporting the content. Finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, it's goodbye from me. Take care, and I'll see you next time.